Hey guys, this video is sponsored by 3-in-1 and Lava Soap, used by professionals and DIYers for over 120 years. So what we have is a go-kart that was donated to me, given to me by a friend, that sat out, I'm not sure how long he had it. I want to say it was probably quite a few years, and then by looking at it, it sat quite a few years someplace else before he even got it. So it's in pretty rough shape. But I figure we can have some fun trying to resurrect it and bring it back to life, if it'll come back to life. It's definitely all rusted up, or the steering is frozen, all the tires are flat and dry rotted. The engine I know nothing about. I think it turns is the only thing I checked to make sure that it did turn. Tires are shot. Does have rear suspension, front suspension. Yeah, tires are shot. Rear suspension, looks like the whole engine assembly kind of pivots. It looks like it has a CVT transmission. We'll get that cover off, take a peek. It's definitely fairly rusty. I know the front end is kind of seized up. The chain looks like it's pretty petrified. Yeah, barely moves. So what do you say we get it up in the lift? We'll start getting the covers off. We'll get into the engine, see if we can get that engine run. Worst case scenario, we could always swap the engine out for something else, but let's give our best to get that one to see if it'll go. Make it a little easier on ourselves. Don't want you guys to hurt your back. And noise alert. I think we'll start. We'll see what we have in there for what it does have for a clutch. We'll look at the hardware. It's got a regular screw, a Phillips, and 2 regular screws. Hope that's not a sign of things to come. You need to take that one out. Well, it does have a CVT, that's good. It's looking a little on the rusty side also, though. That sounds a little crunchy. It's making that noise. I would say probably something in the pull start cover. I don't know if I have a pull start for this. It looks like somebody was probably wrapping a rope around it. I go look in the hoard, see what I got. Because we want to see if we got spark is the first thing we're going to check for. Ooh, smell that. It's a good vintage. So I'm getting some of the stuff off. I've got the air cleaner out of there. We could probably, with the plug out, with no compression, we could probably spin it with a drill. If I can get something on the bolt. Let's see what this guy looks like. Remind me to check the oil too before I spin it up. Got a bunch of crap around the plug hole too. Might have a nest in it. Might. I got a drill set up with a socket, but the shock is kind of in the way. Let's see if it'll work on an angle. See if we get any spark. I think it's got a nest. Yeah, I think the drill's slipping. I need a better setup. Let's try it with a better socket. I do not see anything. Let's slip that plug. No, I do not see spark. Let's look and see what it has for a kill wire. Well, I guess that's the kill wire, so that's not the issue. Let me do a little bit of homework. Just in case that plug's no good, I threw a spark checker on there instead. I'll give us a better idea. Let's try it one more time. I do see us flickering. So, be nice if it's just a plug, huh? Alright, let's spin that up again. That one's got spark. Good. I made that part of the job easy. Wonder if that's what it got stopped being used for. A spark plug. I almost forgot about checking the oil. I don't know if it's got a dipstick on it or... It has up to the full mark. Actually doesn't really look all that bad. Good. Let's see if we can make ourselves a little makeshift pull start. Point on that guy. I'm gonna go through. It's almost there. There we go. Give ourselves, I don't know what we want to do. About that much. Yeah, we'll give ourselves about that much. We'll cut that off, tie a knot on it, see if that'll work. Anything two? Oh, back up. Tucks down inside there. Let's go give that a little tinkle of fuel. This is premix 2-stroke oil. Kind of good to use on stuff that hasn't been running a long time because the oil helps lubricate. That. A little bit of that. Let's get roped up and try her again. Alright. This thing doesn't have a choke neither, so it uses a primer bulb to give a squirt of fuel in it. But we already have a squirt of fuel in it. Let's get that tight right away. Yeah, see, it's going to want to slip. I got to get it kind of across. Once you get about two laps on it, should hold. What you think? Maybe the second time? Let's see what we get. I just jinxed myself by saying that too. A little puff of something. We'll give it a couple more shots and then I'm going to go hunt for a pull start. I don't think I have one, but you never know. There's our little teaser. What was that, number 4? 3 or 4. All right. We got a good motor to work with. I say we get into that carb, see what we got for an issue kind of going on in here. I see some funky looking tied up throttle governor looking setup. We're going to want to get rid of all of that. But let's go pop that bowl down and see what we have. Yeah, like you can see, it's got that primer bulb on it. That guy's pretty stiff too. So it doesn't have a choke, and it just kind of gives a little extra shot of fuel. But we might be able to get, let's see what we get in here first though. But we might be able to use a snowblower carburetor, like off at Tecumseh. See what comes oozing out of it. It looks like it's got oil in it. That is going to need a very good cleaning. It's got crud sitting on the bottom of the float. Let's unbolt that carb, get that off of there, we'll go on the bench, we'll take it apart and see if this one's salvageable. So you can get those lines off of there without breaking those fittings off. Top one's probably just a breather from the crankcase. This one, that one's metal. This is going to be the fuel line. Might be better slicing that one. Let's see what we get. There we go. Good. Unbolt that and go over to the bench. Let's get that carb apart. We need to tap that out. There we go. That smells so good. Hopefully it's not rotted out. It's got a lot of corrosion on the bottom. We'll find out if it sinks in the parts washer. Let's get the seal off of it. Don't have a carb kit for this, but as long as we don't damage anything, we should be okay. Where's the, there it is. Get the jet out of it. Didn't like that. Let me see if I can find a little tighter fitting screwdriver for that. I have a feeling we're probably going to have an issue with the idle circuit. The mains usually kind of come back. The idle gets pretty, it's pretty cruddy. The other thing, I'm going to leave this alone too because I'm going to damage that just trying to get that out of there. And I don't have a replacement for that. I don't know if we could push the emulsion tube out. Let's see if we can get that. I'm not gonna try too hard on this because if I damage that, that's also going to put a stop to it. Yeah. Let's go throw it in like it is and hope for the best. Gotta show the float bowl mud too. I would definitely say that fuel might have gone bad. Just saying. Fuel tank's plastic, but hopefully it does not have a bunch of this in the bottom of it too. Off to the bath. That guy. Might as well throw the needle in there. The float will float out of there anyhow. I don't see anything else we need to take apart on that. Hey, we're still heating up. We should be okay. How's our float doing? Where's our float? Let's let that guy sit like that. And we'll give ourselves a little vibration. We need that part of it down. Let's go take, so you're going to take that right out of there so you can get a little deeper. There we go, that'll do. And we'll let that cook for a while. Well, wait for that. We might as well start freeing up a bunch of these rusty locations here and letting the fast-acting 3-in-1 penetrant do its thing. And what's nice about these two, they got the marksman tip on it. So instead of using like a spray can, it allows you to put it right where you want it instead of trying to really get all over everything. So why don't we go and give ourselves a little here and there where needed, and see if we can get this front end to do what it needs to do, which is turn, which is what it doesn't do at the moment. What else do you see? Where else you want to get? Where else hit these two, huh? And that guy probably used a little. There. Those guys, I think they're blown right out. Let's go do that a little though. The chain's going to be a definite. We'll jack that up. We'll soak that guy right around. Alright, we'll let that set up for a little bit and get on to something else. I jacked the back of the tractor up too. We definitely have to do something with that chain. I don't know if that's going to recover or not. It's looking pretty rough. You can see and hear how well that's doing. But let's go give her a shot anyway. And we'll let that soak in. It's good for like hinges and your tools too. It's the top of all the pivot points. And let me throw a little on those guys. Good about it. It's nice and thin. It gets right inside there too. So I'm gonna let that soak up. I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee, and then maybe we'll get back on that carburetor. And coffee break's over. Yeah, it's been about 20 minutes or so. Let's see if we're making out. Actually, it looks pretty good. It had a bunch of hoppy, like jammed up spots in it before. I see one right there still. And that one's right there. It's a little tight right there and right there. Let's give it one more soak while we're at it. Let that do its thing, and let's go check on that carburetor now. We'll let that bent one sit right on the chain there. Yeah, so go see how Soup's doing. Float's still floating. That's a good sign. Looking pretty clean too. Let's get that out of there. That did a good job. Let's see what the main part of the carburetor looks like. That's going to be warm. Woohoo. Yeah, let's set that down real fast. Alright, I think we got it all. Yes, we do. Just going around giving it another shot. A couple of places I didn't get. Talk about the steam coming off it. I'll let that guy cool down for a little bit before we try touching it. And maybe we'll go look for a pull start in the stash. Alright, remember, we're looking for something that looks like that. Into the bowels of the junk pile board. Most of the engine stuff is on the back shelf. I thought I had one taken apart in a box or a crate. It might be it, but it might not. Is it up here? This is the land of lost engines. There was one that had electric start. I think it might be all the way back there. This is gonna be fun. Hold on. We gotta climb. Hold on. This might be where I find my body. There it is. That's Briggs. That's one of them. Is it? Yeah, Briggs. There was one that was on an angle like that. Just in case. I don't think so. We might be able to. Just in case we can cobble, we'll take that along with us. What is that one right there? That is a Briggs also. Pretty sure that was a Tecumseh we were playing with. What's that red one? All the way back. It's probably a Honda. That is a Honda. Yep. But I wonder if a pull start off of a regular, like a snowblower, Tecumseh might work. Alright, we'll go see what we can go dig up, maybe on a snowblower. This one looks, I'm pretty sure it is a 2-stroke Tecumseh off a snowblower, probably like a 5-horse. Let's look at that pull start. That's got 5 screws on it. 4. That's got 4. Visualize that. What's that got on the inside? You can see the nut in the center. So it's got a different type of cone on it. That might be what we need right there. Tecumseh meet Briggs. Briggs meet Tecumseh. Might be able to get away with it. Let's see how those holes line up. They're a tad out further, all the way around. How about those guys are missing nuts, but maybe might be able to do that. We go with. Show you what I'm talking about. Can you see how much they're missing by? Right there. We could probably notch these out a little. Let's see how it's gonna work. Might be okay. I think we should maybe I'll do something with that. Might have to take this right off, and we'll go right through it and kind of nut and bolt it with some jam nuts on the back. Probably our best bet. Plus, I don't think the on-off switch is hooked up. We might as well take that tin off anyway. So I'll take the screws out of the gas tank. I think we want to clean that too. See if we can get that right out of there. Yeah, we'll get that apart. We'll clean up inside there anyhow. I see 3 screws on it so far. Let's see if we can get that spring off the governor. Where's that guy go? So I don't think we're going to be using that anyway. We might, but have to disconnect that. Let's see how well this guy wants to come off. You gonna be able to get in there? Backed it up here. Yeah, man. We don't do not to use a ratchet. gonna have to go spray that one down a little bit and try it. I apologize in advance if the compressor kicks on. Let's go blow this guy out. The one thing I want to watch out for is make sure I don't blow this direction through the fuel inlet, because you'll blow the seat right out of there. Ask me how I know. Noise alert, by the way. Watch your eyes. Alright. Well, it looks pretty good. I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna have a lot of issues. Alright, so the one thing I'd be concerned about on this carb, actually feels better too, is the primer bulb. It's got basically a set of check valves that are in there, and it allows fuel to get drawn up and then pushed in. Actually, does this one take a... It might just shoot a puff of air into the bowl and force it forward. I'm not positive of that. But what it does is, instead of having a choke, it just shoots a little bit of raw fuel down the carb and, you know, enriches it. What are we doing? We are putting the needle in the seat. Yeah. We're wandering aimlessly is what we're doing. Yeah, man. Come on, fingers. Focus. Wrong side of the floor. Where's our pin? I just want to make sure. It actually looks pretty good. It's actually up a little. Should be. It's a little sticky. I'm going to blow through there. I want to make sure that it's blocked off. It is. And then when I flip it over, I can blow through it. Probably should have prepped the parts before I turned the camera on, huh? Let's go blow that out. It looks a little... This is the main jet. And this meters how much fuel gets drawn up from the float bowl through a predetermined hole in the center. That the size of that hole allows how much fuel that gets sucked up, and they got numbers on the back, and those numbers correspond with what size jet it is, so you know where you are. We're not forgetting anything from the inside, are we? No. You know what's missing? It's missing the ring that is supposed to go on the bottom of that. Let me go shop around the garage, see if I can go find one. Generally, I flip the clip around on the needle, and generally you kind of, as a rule of thumb, you want the float to be level. This one's a little on the tall side. It's a little going uphill, a little underfilling the bowl. Probably be the best way to describe what would end up happening, but it hasn't been an issue, so I'm not going to adjust it yet. If we find that we're riding the thing around and it kind of starves for fuel, we'll change that, but for now we're going to leave it alone. So I have a pack of fiber washers. We're going to go try using that guy. And what we have left, needle back in there. Where is that? There it is. Did we even ever wash that? I wonder if I missed that, didn't put it in there. I think I did. I just cleaned it up on the wire wheel. I don't feel like waiting. Now I'm just going to shove a wire bristle in there just to make sure that the path is clear. That one just works from, draws fuel in through the pre-drilled tip, and there's two little holes right here. That's where the it exits from. And this is not adjustable. It's fixed. Sometimes you have a spring on it, and it won't have holes in it though. It'll just be like a pin, and it'll be an adjustable. Same with on the bottom. Sometimes you'll have a spring and a pin in the center that makes it that number adjustable. You know, within about 8 numbers of a range. They still have jets in them, but it makes it adjustable. I think we are probably good to go. Let's go back on that pull start. Let's go see if get that last one out. Go back and forth. Put a ratchet on it. I have a feeling we're going to snap it. Yeah, there it goes. Good. It went a little. I am going to spray that down some more, because now it's away from it a little bit, and I can get some more fluid soaked in behind it. Do you think? I was looking for a little 1/2-inch breaker bar, just so the fact that I won't have to flip the, so you can kind of work it back and forth both directions. I'm having to flip it. You know what I mean? So you can just go poof, 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 instead of doing this. I think that'll just spiffy. Sure beats having to drill the stupid thing out later. Especially if it... Actually, I see another screw up top, another little one. Yeah, soaked right in there. Good. Yeah, I think I'm ready to get in there. Might have another little one here or there. Nope. We have a switch holding us. Let's see if they are going to cooperate. Probably not. Yeah, let's we'll grab those with some pliers real nice and close, and wiggle these guys off of here so I don't break them. And let's see if we get that pull start on. Good thing to clean it out anyway. It had a lot of crap in it. It's supposed to have air go across those fins, and I would say that a little bit of an issue. I think this one's sitting outside a little bit. It's rubbing. It'll polish itself up. So I would say its inhabitants at one time was a bee's nest, and then there was a mud wasp up in the tin I scraped out, and I think that's a little bit of everybody else. It might be the bee's nest. Not sure. I'm gonna go mask up and I'll blow that out. Cover's a little crusty on the inside too. I don't know how well that switch was. I wonder why that switch wouldn't ground out. I don't think it was doing much of anything. We'll clean that up, and let's go see if we can get that pull start on there. Yeah, figure out which way we want this to pull. Guess either under the bar or over. I'd say probably over the top would be better. So we'll figure something like that. That's what we want. Grab that one. Those are actually in the center too. I don't know if you can see that. That pattern matches right up. Go figure. Go shopping for some hardware. We need something preferably with a jam nut. Let's go with that guy. And I think these are the only ones I have that are that same thread. Those are a different thread. Here we go. So we'll grab 4 of those. We'll screw that together. And a pull start. I'll have some bling bling too. I think we'll run the nut outward because I don't want it to hit the fan. And then we'll cut off maybe what's left and smash our hands on it. Pop the switch out of the tin. They're a little on the green side. I'm just gonna go clean them up on a wire wheel. Pop that switch back in. Wonder if that's not a great location. You'd be turning it off and you're trying to start it. Hardware's not a problem. It's got the detents in there. You're never going to go rub your hand on those. Worst case, I guess you could just run another nut, leave the nut right on top. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. Alright, let's put it back together. Alright, that's bolted back on there. Let's see over under whether it's going to work. Pull it off here. We'll go figure. Would suck if I was going the wrong direction. Hey, put it all together. Gas tank was cleaned over in the parts washer. Looks pretty decent inside. Again, it's plastic, so it's not going to rust. And we're going to go throw some fuel in it. See what we get. Let's put the fuel in. See if that primer bulb does anything. Yeah. That's not a good sign, is it? Well, let's go just squirt a little bit of fuel in there. Give it a shot. Put some air in. The throttle should be at idle. I did not hook the governor back up. That was a conglomeration of mess. Let's see what we have. Am I all set? Might fling some crap off the tires if it revs high. Yeah, for hair fuel. A little off balance there. I lost it. something happened. I gotta choke it with my thumb real hard. So we either sucked up some debris or there's no fuel getting to it at all. Let's go get that bowl off of there. It wasn't empty. But there's also no fuel filter on this thing too, so. I really don't see much in the way of dirt. See a little speckle there in the corner, but it doesn't seem like what's causing the issue. Let's go blow it out and try it again. Yeah, I just took it and blew out the passages on there while it's on there, and we are ready to rock and roll. But I want to take and fill these tires up maybe. I know they're not going to hold air, but let's just see if we can get them so they're round so it doesn't shake the machine as much, and we can kind of rev it up and make sure the clutch stuff does what it should. Be a miracle if that holds air. Boom. No. That wasn't optimistic. Yeah, we're just looking to flip that the other direction. Good. All right, let's go at it again. Yeah, that still doesn't work. Falls off, shoots across the room. Doubt that's gonna work. Yeah. I don't know what fixed it. All of a sudden it just kind of pulled through and it started going on its own from me thumbing it. I think there was something blocked with this passage. Maybe it doesn't let the vent the bowl or whatever it was, but something shot through. Then all of a sudden, I think you even saw something kind of pop out. You might have saw it on video, and it cleared itself out, and then it went. So that's cool. Clutch works out fine. Chain looks like it's doing okay. Looks like it's blowing its guts all up there. They come back with a more of an oil now. The chain looks like it. Let's look for the where the lumps were. Good, we'll run that for now. Alright, what's that? Part of a plastic tarp. Good, I think if we get some wheels on it and start freeing some stuff up, she may be a good runner. Still gotta do throttle and all that crap too, though. Alright, threw the jack back under the front again, and see if the front end will. Oh, it's butter. Good. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. So I think we're to the point of the game where we would start chasing tires. You got to get a kill switch to it, because if it sticks full throttle, you got no way to shut it down, and it's kind of hard to bail on this thing. You just got to ride till you crash. Tires look like they're just Craftsman garden tractor tires. Especially the front has that look, and the rear is the same, but not sure about the rim axle being the same size, so we may have to use the rim over. I think that's what Harvey was saying. But I should have a dead tractor out back that we'll have then, so we can get into that when we get into that. And it's just real means get some lube in that chain. We gotta take some of the slack out of it, maybe, and probably change the oil in it too. Hey guys, again, I just want to take a second for thanking 3-in-1 Fast Acting Penetrant and Lava Hand Cleaner for sponsoring my channel. It's available, Walmart, Home Depots. If you can't find a location from me, there'll be a link in my channel description where you can find it, and also be a link for a coupon in there too. So if you like what I do and want to help support me, support my sponsors. Great stuff. You wouldn't see it on my channel if it wasn't.